Hi Aquarius, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for the last week of December going into January. I hope everybody is doing well. I am going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Aquarius out there, so guys, take what resonates for you, leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse, so if it is resonating, get in where you fit in, Aquarius, but as always, don't force yourself into a reading that is not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Aquarius? Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, you are starting out with the Four of Swords. You have the Page of Swords in the reverse, and you have the Fool in reverse. So I do feel like you're on a break with somebody. I also feel like you're healing. You're trying to, basically recover your energy. Some of you may need a break from a lot of things right now, because I do feel like somebody you were dealing with perhaps wasn't being honest. So there's changes that are taking place here that you may not know about, and I do feel like part of this is the energy of you not quite knowing how to handle the changes that are taking place. So you've pulled back. You're pulled back in your energy. You're kind of trying to recuperate. I do feel like you were dealing with somebody that might have been a little bit dishonest. They were either directly lying, or it could have been that they were omitting things, not telling you everything. And it has to do with changes. With the Fool in reverse, I also feel like there is some sort of a new beginning that is trying to come in. You could be very resistant of that, because I do see you being a little bit resistant to changes right now. Stability is important to you, Aquarius, and so you could be resisting change, and that change could have to do with a new beginning of some sort. It's fear related is what I'm seeing. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Aquarius energy. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Knight of Wands. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. And the Three of Pentacles reversed. So yeah, this is somebody that you're on a break from. There's an established foundation here that has collapsed, and it's because this person was not cooperating with this. They're not being very cooperative. This is someone who is either in and out of this relationship, or they are, and that's at best, or they're a bit of a player. It's like any kind of interaction that you have with this person comes with a sting attached to it. And I also feel like this is someone who, with the Nine of Swords reversed, they're coming across as being unbothered, like they don't really care, like, they may rush in and talk to you, and then just rush out just as quick. There's this energy of inconsistency and possibly even being a player. But there's a lack of a foundation here. Let me see, show me the energy between Aquarius and this person. Show me the energy between Aquarius and this person. Oh, yeah, Three of Swords. There's heartbreak here. No wonder you've pulled back. Yeah, you're not even talking to this person. This person really hurt you. What they're not saying is that they actually are feeling hurt too, but they're acting a little bit unbothered by the situation. But I don't feel like this was on your behalf. I feel like they were either inconsistent, or there could have even been third-party energy. They could have been a player. Let me see what's affecting this connection. The Hierophant reversed. Taurus energy. But that's the energy of an ending. Yeah, there's an ending here. And you may not fully comprehend why. Why did this happen? Why is all this happening? So let me see the outcome. Show me the outcome for Aquarius. Because this person's acting like they don't even care. Five of Wands reversed. Yeah, so there's going to be an end to the conflict here, but I feel like this person is really hard to get along with. They're not very cooperative. For some of you, you may work with this person, but you don't have to. I do feel like whatever this conflict is going to end. So bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. This is underlying energy. So you could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. Taurus is actually very strong here. But with the Queen of Pentacles as an underlying energy, I feel like you're really kind of pouring the energy into yourself right now. There's this energy of self-care, being very focused on the home, children if you have children, focused on your work and your own stability right now. Again, recognizing that there are changes, but not quite knowing how you're going to go about dealing with them. So you're kind of turning that focus inward. Let me clarify your reading, Aquarius. Why is the Four of Swords here for Aquarius? Yeah, you were dealing with someone toxic, the Devil. All right, so we have the Devil, we have the Knight of Swords. So something toxic was introduced into the situation, and the truth came out. Yeah, the truth came out. Somebody may have come to you and told you what was taking place, what was going on. But that truth came out, and it hurt you. It hurt you deeply. So let me see why the Page of Swords is in reverse. Yeah, there it is. The Hierophant in the reverse. That's what's affecting the connection. So it's this ending and the way things ended. King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarian energy is here. I feel like this person was being a bit of a player. And that's what ended this connection. Because the King of Wands can sometimes be a little bit of a player. Like, it's a very attractive person who gets a lot of attention. And this person may have, you know, accepted that attention, and they weren't telling you what was taking place. Let me see the Fool in reverse. Yeah, seven of Swords and the Six of Wands reversed. So no wonder you're fearful of this. This person was deceptive. There was lying, cheating, stealing going on. Something deceptive. Seven of Swords is here. That's what caused this connection to be unsuccessful. However, I do see there being a resolution. Now, this could also, with the Five of Wands, you could be avoiding this person. I do see you're not currently talking to them. If you do talk to them, you're going to give them a truth bomb or two. But the way this ended was through deception. And you're feeling like, well, even if we did get back together, it's not going to be a successful relationship because, you know, how can we start again if they're still in this deceptive energy? Let me see. You may have been the one who ended it. I feel like somebody gave you information. You got the truth, and that truth was painful. Let me see why the Knight of Wands is here. Let's look at their energy. Yeah, King of Swords reversed. I don't like that energy. That's almost like a little bit narcissistic. So the King of Swords is in the reverse. This tells me that there is a lack of communication. We also have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So once this deception got called out, this person decided that they were going to free themselves. They probably did it in a very nasty way as well. They were very cutting and very angry and very mean with their words. And now they're acting like they just don't care. But that's not the truth. The truth is that they know they caused you a lot of pain. And I do feel like they do care, but this is somebody who is afraid of commitment, and they're not being very honest either. They want to come in and out, you know. Let me see why this Nine of Swords is here. So I feel like the two of you are not speaking right now. And if this person did approach you, you'd have some things to say. All right, so we have the Seven of Cups reversed, and we have the Chariot. So this person's acting like, oh, they're just moving on with their life. They don't really care. You know, now that the clarity has come to the situation, that's what ended it. This person was deliberately causing confusion, Aquarius. And then you got the truth. And it was a truth that was hard for you to hear. But this person's just moving on. It's like, yeah, this is done. It's over. I don't care. But I don't think that's the case. Let me see why the Three of Pentacles is here in reverse. Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles. So this was a committed connection. Yeah, because you're showing up with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So they may even be trying to say that it ended because of you, because of what you were doing and saying that you weren't stable. Yeah, I really don't, I really don't like their energy, if I'm being completely honest. This is somebody that didn't value the connection, and they know they drained you. They know that they hurt you. They had options, and they were lying about that. Let me see the Three of Swords. Show me the energy between Aquarius and this person. So you found out that this person was absolutely toxic. The Lovers, they had a choice between two. The Three of Cups, they were partying. And the Queen of Swords. So you were like, okay, look, I'm willing to hear what you have to say. But at the same time, you've learned boundaries. You've got that sword up. So you're willing to hear them out, but you're not going to lower your boundaries, because there's been some third-party energy here. There's been partying. And I feel like at this point, this person, they had a choice between two people. They weren't honest about it. They were in and out of the connection, and they were being a bit of a player. Now they're acting like, well, I don't care if I talk to Aquarius or not. Well, guess what? Aquarius has now stepped into their power. So you're in an empowered position here. You may even be dating and going out, but if you are, and some of you could be, but if you are, you're probably going out with friends, or you're attending some holiday celebrations of some sort, because there is a fear of having a new beginning with anyone else at this point, because you're still healing. This person really did hurt you. Let me see the Hierophant in the reverse. Show me the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, they walked away from the connection. They could have physically moved out as well. Six of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Cups. Yeah, they could have physically moved out if the two of you were living together or married. But what I'm seeing is that it wasn't a balanced connection. This person was breadcrumbing you as well. They were playing around. This person is very attractive, and they enjoy the attention from other people. They weren't being honest with you. There were things that they were not telling you. So this connection ended because of the imbalance, but this person walked away from the connection. Once the truth came out, once the clarity was in place, they walked away like they didn't even care. But they know that they hurt you. Let me see, show me the outcome. All right, we have the Sun, we have the Page of Cups reversed, and we have Justice in reverse. All right, so I feel like instead of you working things out with this person, I think what's going to happen is you're going to avoid them. You're avoiding conflict, because this person's going to be trying to blame you for this ending, that you were unstable or unwilling to work things out. You drained them. You wanted too much, whatever. This person had a choice between two people. There was some third-party energy. They were not being honest with you at all. You figured it out. It could have been somebody that told you something, but regardless, the truth came out. And I do feel like you feel like this person has treated you wrong, that they've treated you very unjustly, that they were, not generous with their time, not generous with other resources, that they breadcrumbed you. It wasn't a balanced connection. You were giving and giving. And so it became a very unbalanced connection. Leo energy is here. Libra energy is here, as well as Gemini. But at the end of the day, you're saying, no, this ended because you were deceitful to me. I'm not talking to you anymore because now the truth and clarity is here. I have to work on my own happiness. This didn't work out because of all your deceit. And so as far as, trying to work things out with this person, having a new beginning, you're not going to do it because you're fearful that they're just going to do a repeat of the same thing. Now, in their energy, not only have they lost you, but because this person is so unstable, whoever they moved towards, that ended as well. So they lost you, they lost the new person. They can't manage to, keep any kind of a connection here together because they don't have a foundation to work from. They could also be having a little bit of financial trouble, but yeah, this person, and they do still have feelings for you, but they don't want you to know. So they're acting like they're totally unbothered, like everything's fine. But again, it's that dishonesty here. I feel like this was hard for you, and I feel like you were resisting these changes. But at the end of the day, you want something that's balanced, and you've learned to put in your boundaries, and you've stepped into your power. And I think that was difficult. This situation looks difficult. But just know that this person is getting their own karma, and they're going to know it too. They're realizing it. They're realizing it. Yeah, they thought everything was going to be hunky-dory, but I feel like whatever they did to you is getting done to them as well. So you just continue to step into your power, continue working on yourself, healing yourself, and just let Spirit deal with this person. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles. That's underlying energy, and it does indicate that you are now investing in you. And I think that that's perfect. So, yeah, this person's energy is not good right now. Doesn't mean it's always going to be that way, but right now they're just not very stable. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card, Aquarius, and we'll see if there's any further advice for you. Pulling for Aquarius. It says growing pains, healing, patience, and unconscious. So let me read that for you. Give me just a second. It's number 19, and that indicates that you're at the end. That condenses to a 10. 10s are about, endings and about ending a cycle, okay? So your affirmation says, I trust in the process of my healing. The healer, the garden that tends itself, the therapist. You seek to be an awakened one in your family, and this isn't always easy as it involves taking on a larger responsibility and role in your lineage. You are seeking something more fulfilling, truthful, and of the heart. This requires patience with your psyche and security within your soul. By living intentionally and choosing to be conscious of the choices you make, you are activating transformation at a DNA level. This can be felt at a collective consciousness level as well. This is powerful work. Your ancestors are so proud to have passed the torch down to you. You have done so much already, far more than you know. Pulling the Growing Pains card invites you to employ more patience with yourself on your healing journey. You are unlearning and undoing generations of toxic patterns and beliefs. This will naturally be challenging, uncomfortable, and even painful at times. This is why they're called growing pains. They're a necessary part of healing. This card also wants to remind you that you were chosen for this path, that your soul chose this mission of healing for you. This is your initiation. This is what walking through the fire looks like, so you may reach that peaceful, abundant valley. Be proud of yourself and continue to do your best as you find your way. Celebrate small victories, like when you set boundaries or are less reactive, or break a toxic trait, or don't repeat the poison of the past. This is the work, and you've accepted your mission, whether you've realized it or not. And I think you have realized it. So these are growing pains, and just remember, Aquarius, this too shall pass. All right. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you've resonated with this reading, Aquarius, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hide the video if you can. And until I see you in your next reading, Aquarius, know that you are loved, and namaste.